To continue with the session, perhaps it's the third part with the Scrabble throw. The topic has changed, and the topic has changed to the shooting of two movies between, I think, 2015 and 17. Don't even know what the release was, but it's got to do with the character of Meera in the movie Dilwale and Anushka Sharma as an actress herself. Okay, live. So it was not expected that the conversation would change to that, because I was more interested in talking to KAT. But then, okay, whatever it is, we've now gone to wherever the reading has directed me to go to. So today is the 5th of June 2025. It is the Thursday. It is 10 in the morning. So it is Mercury and Moon along with Jupiter. Okay, so it's a fine day. Yeah, it's a fine, cool, calm day. So we'll keep it also cool and calm. I'll talk to the pendulum. Let's see if the pendulum wants to say anything. And then we'll just continue with deciphering the messages. Okay. Did I have any dream? I could have had a dream, but I frankly don't remember. I think it was pretty inconsequential, the dream. I would have dreamt something, but I think it was quite inconsequential. So nothing like, dreaming of a Hafiz Syed, which you remember. But at the same time, I don't remember the exact interaction. I definitely remember the girl with Baby X, because I really am fond of Baby X. He's a cutie pie. And he does remind me of, I don't know who he reminds me of. He reminds me of some people. He's a cutie. So I do remember Baby X very vividly, writing on his book with crayons, and he's being taught how to write, or he's being taught the name of his parents, or the name of whoever's with him. The first name of the girl is mine. Her family name is different. But is it a girl sitting with him, or is it a girl dressed as a boy sitting with him? I don't quite get that, because my concentration is on Baby X doing the writing. Okay, very cutely. We will take Shirdi Sai Baba's blessings, because I have not done that so far. Okay. So let's just go ahead. Shirdi Sai Baba, thank you for everything. Please bless the reading. So we take the blessings of Ganesh Ji. Then we take the blessings of Shirdi Sai Baba. Then we take the blessings of who Shirdi Sai Baba directs me to, who is Shivji. Then we take the blessings of Parvati Mata. Then we take the blessings of Kartikeya. Then we take the blessings of Shaniji. Then we take the blessings of Vishnu. Then we take the blessings of his two avatars, Lord Ram and Lord Krishna. Then we take the blessings of Gau Mata, and take the blessings of all the gods who reside in Gau Mata. Okay? To direct the read as best as possible. Now, yes, my hands are smelling buttery. I've used some cocoa butter, but I'm smelling like butter. Okay, so you got a problem. Don't keep passing comments based on buttery smells, this smell, that smell. I'm not interested. Let me do my read. Stop irritating all the time. ये मुंह चलाता रहता है, रोबोटिक, पता नहीं किसने क्या डाल दिया है इसको, मुंह चलाना पड़ता है, चलाना पड़ता है, चलाना पड़ता है, मुंह बंद ही नहीं करता है, फैन से मुंह बकता रहता है इन एंड अराउंड माई होल होम, इरिटेटिंग। ओपन माई ब्लडी मेन डोर, वहाँ पे भी उसको कुछ बकवास बात करना पड़ता है। शुड वी इन्वेस्ट इन दिस कंट्री और जस्ट स्क्रू इट? Illiterate and uneducated for most part of it. Stupidity. Now you're putting the smell on me. When Sharanya was born, or when she was 1-2 years old, all the time Shalina's clothes smell of this, because when she's feeding the baby 3, 4, 5 times in a day, then this is the smell that was in her deep towers. So why have you put it on me? But that is before you kidnapped her and got rid of her for 9 years. You have killed lots of people in this way only. And next, I'm waiting to go to the afterlife. From there, I'm not going to spare you. There's an army building up of lit realms and lit beings. You don't even know how they're going to wash you out. You got no chance going forward. You hear it from me and hear it very clearly. Okay, so anyway, let me not irritate them also. Let me ask. Okay, can you see my hand steady? Okay, good enough. Alright. So I think this is good enough. You can get an idea of what's what. Okay, just steady this as best. Hi cutie, are you there? Yesterday you had full strength in the evening. Now I've not offered you anything, no? I'll offer you mango a little later. Okay, cutie pie? I want to understand, you still want me to continue this read? Okay, so I'll move to the Scrabble and give you rest time instead. Okay, I also got a thing today. Cyrus Mistry used to not like me from the very beginning. Cyrus Mistry shapeshifted as Papa, I understand. After 96 sometime, 95, 96 sometime. At that time, Ankur Patodia used to keep singing the song Moon and Back and Truly, Madly, Deeply, which is Deep Mind. Suddenly this morning it went off that what if he was chipped in his brain and he's also a conduit and an agent for these guys who want to spread, let's just say, something in society. So he's very well connected. His reaction also is not his own. It is controlled. The fact that I have told someone, why are you looking like a watchman? He's come to my bedroom. You and I are over there. Mama also is over there. And Papa has entered and he's full of mirth and you know how he is, fun. And I said, Papa, why are you dressed like a watchman or why are you behaving like a watchman? Something of that sort. That is because the ego attached to him was that. His choice of dress also was different from normal. That was 97, 98. That irked him. Yet that was not him in his natural. Can we assume he had been chipped or he had been put forcefully ego upon? Which changes his style and changes his patterns. Is that where also he was triggered not to like me? By not liking me and going and spewing it in society and spreading rumors about me, what is the outcome he gets? I don't understand. I'm not yet able to figure. UKAT, file name KAT, who's JAYA.ADVANI, who went with me to Fort Convent School. 2.5 years younger than me, 2 years behind when it comes to the grade. You are the French blue blood girl. I'm not blue blood. I belong to a justice system background where the egg and the sperm that created me, you say it is a Spanish bloodline? At a time where Spain, people who were doing the work of law keeping and law and order were called dictators. There was great confusion in those last 1 century or 2 centuries. Habitually, these guys were being called dictators and very egoistical and God only knows what. All they were trying to do was keep criminal cartels and criminal networks, because long term it was not going to help the country, or it was not going to help Europe. So why is it? Is it because Cyrus Mistry as Kani Advani was actually one of those who was fond of me initially? He had no problems with me as a personality, and this is why I have always said something changed 1997 after I got back from QUT, and we never looked back from there on. Was it because Cyrus Mistry had been chipped and some very key people had been chipped? Things that they would not otherwise do with their real brain, they started having those opinions, and they were also influencers and having a very vast and a large network. The very fact that he was told, why are you looking like a watchman, why are you behaving like a watchman, it means he had not done so before. Also, his ego had been forcefully attached to something that he's not naturally attuned to. It stood out like a sore thumb, and so we had to question it. Yet it was misconstrued, because the concept of putting egos on people forcefully, chipping them forcefully, was not yet known. That means this was done on purpose by a foreign country, hand in glove with some people from this country. Was the BJP involved in this even in those years? If you were to hold somebody the culprit, would you say it is the BJP, and is the RSS the culprit? Is RSS the culprit? Is BJP a bigger culprit? Is it because of Jaitley? The man who has a chip in his front teeth, and under it is Arun Jaitley. He is round and fat with a chipped teeth, and he's grinning, wearing his coat. There is a photo, black and white, in the internet. The guy called SL, who stood in for Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj, told me that actually his front tooth, one was chipped and he had it capped. He was indicating Jaitley only being behind all of this. This he has told me towards the end of my marriage. And it's not a marriage, that 10-month, 5-month so-called marriage. He was indicating Jaitley being the culprit behind this. Jaitley is Middle Eastern bloodline. Amit Shah is Middle Eastern bloodline. Amit Shah is Indian bloodline. The sperm and the egg that created Amit Shah is an Indian bloodline. The sperm and the egg that created Yogi Adityanath is an Indian bloodline. The sperm and the DNA that created Rajnath Singh is an Indian bloodline. Mr. Rajnath Singh, he is the external minister. Mr. Rajnath Singh is the defense minister of India. Mr. Amit Shah, he is the external minister of India. SL is a godly person. SL is the anti-god. Rather, he follows anti-god activities. SL and his partner give guidance to Raw. They are informants for the Raw. SL has stood in for Raga. SL has stood in for Mr. What's his name? 1 minute. SL has stood in for Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj. SL has stood in for Cyrus Mistry. Has he shapeshifted as Cyrus Mistry ever? Cyrus Mistry was pulled off mid 2006. He's in a deep state mind as of now. Cyrus Mistry is freely roaming about in spirit or then in body somewhere around the world in hiding. Cyrus Mistry is free roaming the way I roam around my home. I may not travel around a lot, but I'm still free in my own home. Am I free? Do you consider me free in my own home? Do you consider me imprisoned because I don't really go out for my own safety? Do you consider my life an imprisoned life on the whole? Do I live my life at my home like I am, under house arrest? Am I living in my own simple 2 BHK apartment, taking decisions for my apartment as I wish to, doing my fair share of whatever I need to do around my home, or then even e-commerce shopping or whatever I need to do? Am I free to do what I do? Is Cyrus Mistry in the same kind of state, given that he's from a very good background? So is he leading a life better than mine? In a more, in a far more opulent way? Is he free? One, to travel or live, even if he's living in his own home and not really traveling for whatever reason, but does he live better than me, worse than me, but live like me without being forced to be in an unconscious state? Is he in a forced unconscious state or in a deep sleep state as of today? Did he volunteer for it? Did this happen to him with him volunteering for it? The BJP has a hand in his being pulled off the grid. Not even one party member of the BJP or RSS, anyone from the RSS. Cyrus Mistry is still in his human form on earth today. We're talking about 5th of June 2025. In the year 5th of June 2025, Cyrus Mistry is still in his human form. Cyrus Mistry has joined you in the afterlife. Has he joined you in the afterlife? The ones who are responsible for Cyrus Mistry being dumped underground are what? People who were working on the construction site in those days and their entire network? Is Ankur Patodia and Sanjeev Lekhraj involved in this activity, who have that identity today on them? Their real identity is completely different. Both people say that they have, the reading is saying that there is a connection to Palghar and Palakkad, but Palghar and Palakkad is where Ankur Patodia in 1997 said that is his hometown. Palghar and Palakkad. So when I told my mother that, and she went to Amritanandamayi Mata's ashram, from there she called me, she said, Amma saying break it off, it's not okay. The guy has some issues, it will never work. So just break it off, it's not okay. So then I broke it off. So they're blaming that network, but this boy shapeshifts for SRK according to me. So from that time onwards, they have never looked back. ये शेप शिफ्टिंग कर रहे हैं, वो विरासत के बारे बात करता है, लेकिन विरासत, what haq you have to talk about विरासत? It is being said over here that I never went out with the real Ankur Patodia. The only girl who went out with the cathedral school Ankur Patodia is that girl called Priya Kapoor, who I don't know. In the history, we know he's had a long-term relationship with her. It was a tumultuous one at some point in time. He suffered a nervous breakdown, but I say, what if that was a put on and it was outward show to break up with her because the original boy was pulled off and a duplicate had come in? Whereas she has a relationship with him, she knows him better than, you know, she's on more intimate terms with him. How do you get rid of that? Probably by playing truant. Now, that is a small example. In those days, they've done the same thing, according to me, getting divorces in big, big places like Bezos, his wife, Bill Gates, his wife. Wherever, whenever they've gotten rid of somebody and plugged a duplicate in for the money and the network, they have first gotten rid of the wife, which the original would not ever do. The trend started in 97. The maid is not wed mine. You understood? Keep the bullshit low. बेशर्मी का एक हद होता है. विरासत लेना तुम्हारा हक का है ही नहीं. कमाओ तो कमाओ, जन्म से कमाओ, चोरी मत कर. You understood? And don't talk about virasat, because frankly telling you, at the end of the day, whose job it is to keep a country safe, to keep it prosperous, you have not allowed them to do the job. You have fooled around with them. Things have gotten so bad that through the Arushi case and the Nirbhaya case, you will understand human rights does not exist. It's just some fluffball concept and cloud concept. On the ground, it is actually criminal rights. So you don't have the right to talk about virasat, which means land. You don't have the right of, and let's just face it, in this country, if you look at Congress, from how they managed it to lots of things, you can actually say that no, they did contribute to development. When it comes to, I don't think they ever used the word about ruling and rulership. I don't think they ever did that. This rulership concept came in only with the BJP. So there only you come to know that if there is a Middle Eastern bloodline with a Middle Eastern agenda, then, and you are from a section of Middle Eastern society that was not happy in that land, I agree with you that that land is difficult to live in, only by terrain and geography. But the point is, it is your exposure to what was ruling there by every right, because those are kingdoms. Those are not democracies. But then unknowingly, you've given yourself away during the elections, talking about rulership in 2012, 13, 14. You have given yourself away if you were populating things on my internet because you misunderstood my role. You gave yourself away where you have talked about wanting to unscrew India's constitution, the mass exodus. तुमने बोला है घर में घुस के मारेंगे टेररिस्ट को, लेकिन अगर हम मिडिल ईस्टर्न हैं तो हमारे लिए टेररिस्ट कौन होंगे? और वो भी हम मिडिल ईस्ट के अंदर काम किया है बॉटम ऑफ द पिरामिड में फ्रॉम एंसेस्ट्रीज मच बिफोर. इंडिया इज नॉट अ किंगडम. The Maharajas, Rajas were taken out during the British rule much earlier. Ram and Ram's temple is one such palace. लेकिन तुमने वहाँ पे क्या किया है? Jatayu with cut wings. The Ramayana would never have unfolded had it ended at Jatayu. तुमने वहाँ पे भी उसका fun बना दिया है from the looks of it. There is so much in the Ramayana that could have happened at Ayodhya with so much spending. But what did you do? So if we go back to घर में घुस के मारेंगे, for the Middle Eastern, the terrorists are terrorists, but bigger terrorists than the terrorists are those who have a lot of money, and they employ people compared to those who have big industries running and they have their staff everywhere. The industrialists' money, the high paid professionals' money is much more compared to his spend out to the staff that works for him. तो वही तो टेररिस्ट बने ना, पैसों के कारण. लेकिन वो उसका असली कमाई है ना. तो हाउ यू कैन स्टील इट इन अ डेमोक्रेसी? हाउ यू कैन गो अगेंस्ट इट इन अ डेमोक्रेसी? How you can do that? That's actually, according to me, the background is that only. And anybody supporting it willfully, unknowingly, unwillingly will be joining you for bad, wrong karma done. It is not yours to take. At every step, it is steeped in lies, deceit, manipulation for forced outcomes that are not for you to decide. अगर तुमको कुछ डिसाइड करना था बिफोर यू वर बॉर्न, लिट realm ऑफ जजेस इन दी आफ्टर लाइफ तो है ही एक बहुत बड़ा कम्युनिटी कंपेयर टू व्हाट इज ओवर हियर ऑन अर्थ. इट्स ह्यूज. तो वहां पे तुम्हारा केस जो है एंड टू एंड, इनफैक्ट ये जो जन्म का जो है तुम्हारे पहले वाले जो खाता है उससे हम जोड़ दूं, will you be able to even stand and look anybody from the lit realm of judges in the eye? Because frankly what's going to happen is there is spiritual laws. There is evidence in cases way before, not just connected with Hinduism, connected with, let's just say, the Christian religion, the Catholic religion, the Islam religion, the Guru Sikh religion, the Parsi religion. The only thing that is not there is supportive of anti-God activities. So you know what vices are, you know what virtues are, you know the difference. तुमको फर्क आता है दोनों चीज में. Okay, going ahead, just to carry on with the Scrabble throw, that was a slight digression because the analysis suddenly came up, had to be discussed, and now the Scrabble throw will continue. Okay. कीटा फीटा शीटा, मेरा घर जो है और जो पोस्ट कोड है वो बाली, इंडोनेशिया. कीटा टीटा पीटा, तुमको पीटेंगे. ये कीटा पीटा नहीं है, खाता है. खाता मेरे नाम पे है, जया कन्यालाल हुकूमत राय अडवाणी. जया कन्यालाल अडवाणी, मी कनी अडवाणी's daughter, cat sister वर्षा अडवाणी, रीतू माल्या's niece, कैलाश अडवाणी's niece, कनी अडवाणी's daughter, and ex Mrs. Anita Advani, widowed Mrs. Anita Merchant's daughter. You understood? You fuck. तो बहनचोद चुतिए क्लास. बोला I will not give bad words, but they are irritating all the time. Screwballs. शनि, इन लोगों को एक थप्पड़ मार. Enough of this nonsense from these stupid people. गंदे ही है. Terrible, terrible beings. I'll smack you really badly, you'll come to know. Okay, she says still this has to be done over here. So anyway, there's Nixie, there's Nickel, there's Nixie, Nickel, and Nick. Nick, Nixie, Nickel. Nikki is my cousin who's Nikki. Okay? So Nikhil Advani is actually supposed to be Nikhil Advani used to be called Nikki while we were growing up. He is the real Nikhil Advani. The confusion over here is nut, bed, SL, Nikki, and SKF. Nut has won the ego of my sister Varsha Advani. Nut is a shapeshifter for Varsha Advani, whereas Nixie Nikhil is a shapeshifter for our real cousin Nikhil Advani. If they have gotten together, it is not the real two cousin not the cousin sister and cousin brother. It is like for Shilpa Shilpi. शिल्पी जो शेप शिफ्टर है शिल्पा राव के लिए, शिल्पा सदरंगानी के लिए, जो मर चुकी है, शी इज़ गॉन अवे टू द आफ्टर लाइफ, सो हैव हर ब्रदर्स, सो हैज़ हर मदर. शी हैज़ शेप शिफ्टर्स फ्रॉम आउट ऑफ द सोसाइटी. वहाँ पे यू हैव टेकन अ रील ऑफ हर स्लीपिंग विद अनदर वुमन, बट दैट इज शिल्पी, नॉट शिल्पी, शिल्प्स और सील्पा, 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 SILPA. माई cousin is Shilpa. So you people have been getting the duplicates to either create relationships with people who are lookalikes, to spoil a family's name. Yes, you have on the internet thrown incest in my face, but nobody would ever do incest in my family. There's no need. We're not desperados. We've grown up in a society where my cousins have a well network of boys and girls. We don't need to do incest. There are plenty of boys. In fact, it becomes a problem when we have to tell the boy, no, we're not interested. तो incest हमारा ये जो inbreeding community है ही नहीं. There's no need, बाबा. There's no need. ये जो कन्फ्यूजन तुमने क्रिएट किया है इतने घटिया तरीके से, क्योंकि तू खुद जो है एक घटिया बैकग्राउंड से आता है. अगर कंस्ट्रेंट्स था 80s, 90s, 2000 के अंदर, वो तुम्हारे फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट पुअर बर्थ, लिमिटेशंस उसके साथ, फिर एक जो मन है बड़ा पेटी, नॉट इवन एक्सपोज्ड, फिर उस लिमिटेशन और पेटी मन के साथ तू क्या करेगा, तुम्हारा दिमाग कैसे चलता है. इट्स वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम पीपल हु गो टू कोएड स्कूल्स, हु ग्रो अप इन बॉम्बे, ग्रो अप इन साउथ बॉम्बे, हैव अ फुल नेटवर्क ऑफ देयर ओन cousin brothers, cousin sisters and their friends. It's a very different setup altogether. It's an absolutely different mindset. You have to wake up to this, because you have ruined the names of people just by bringing fucking duplicates of two cousins, father, daughter. God knows what crap you have done. Then you have used our domestic help, who has lots of rules and regulations from the convent from where they come from. Anything goes wrong with them, it goes on the employer. Why? You have misused them. You have misused one girl and got her to join you in your movement as a shapeshifter, and she is contributing to bio-war, spreading HIV. But what is so great about you? Come on, man, you full of shits. If you managed anything, you managed to destroy. You managed to build an economy on blood money, stolen stuff. There is no governance in you. None. You didn't even understand the concept of the Indian constitution, the democracy. It is of the Indian people, for the Indian people, by the Indian people. You didn't even understand that. When you come and you talk about rulership, what rulership? And if you are asking me about Europe, today some structures are crumbling in spite of your best efforts. That is exactly what they were trying to stop in those 2 centuries prior. To keep the law and order and to build on very strong foundations. What about the billionaires of China? They build and they disappear. Where do they disappear? Where does that money go? To survive you. One very important concept that needs to be understood almost immediately about the Congress. Yeah, because we asked about BJP, because the first reading only brought them up, frankly tell you, not as BJP, NDA. It brought up everybody and it brought up so many countries that I already got shocked. It called Government of India rogues. I said, how is that possible? हमने ऐसे language कभी देखा नहीं है in my entire life. It's a very respectful position and most people are glad for it. So we will never ever think that way. There's no question of it. And things have been working smoothly for everybody. So I was pretty shocked in 2020, 2021. Let's just say November, December, January 21, November, December 2020. So I was genuinely shocked. So I wrote all those words down because I didn't realize कि actually ये Scrabble कुछ ना कुछ बोल रहा है of things that are hidden. ये sermon नहीं है. You don't keep using the word sermon, even the pendulum tells you don't do it. और sermon तेरा हफीज शायद करे. And that man also apparently is no more in his body. That's how you manage to create confusion in the Muslim community. Grabbing from the Saidis, गत्ती उसको चाहिए पैसों के लिए. Then this Hafiz Saeed also. पैसों का मामला है भैया, nothing else. पैसों का मामला है और कुछ नहीं है. It's just money, grabbing money and greed. Business expansion for the criminal cartel. That's it. And some very greedy people. That's it. If it comes to the BJP, I asked you about Cyrus Mistry. I said, did whatever happened to him, was it because of the BJP? Was it because of the RSS? Darling, you gone somewhere else or what till I start my Scrabble? I want to ask you about the Congress. Are you back over here? Are you willing to answer via the pendulum? Apparently she's gone somewhere else. So I'll continue with the Scrabble. I'll ask about the Congress later. Okay? They keep running off because there are different problems in different places. So the Atmas go off and go and help out in those situations. So anyway, I'll just continue with this. Also, she gets upset when I get angry. That's another thing. So I have to be a little careful. But I don't know how to understand this. Frankly telling you, I don't know what I'm supposed to understand of this. There is a debt that is connected with NUT, connected with Nikki, SKF and SL. Now the point is, NUT got to do with nutties? SL called my cousin Nikhil Advani when we were in Singapore on the return of the honeymoon. He called him a pretty boy, which was very strange because when you are going to convent schools, you're hanging around each other's homes, you're like brothers, you're like, brothers from other mothers. There's a brotherhood amongst you people. And it's the same with the girls. If at all I want to say something to somebody, like between Varsha and Simal, if they have to say something to me, they will do it on my face. They will not do it behind the back and become a big joke in my face. These girls are all giggly. Same with the boys. For SL to talk that way about Nikhil. We have already met him actually for dinner. So if he wanted to make fun of Nikhil, he could have done it to his face. He didn't do it. In fact, Nikhil hosted us a very good dinner at whatever it is, that water thing, a waterfront place with lots of those restaurants. There everything was good. Here I say you had enough of a chance to make fun of Nikhil on his face, and I'm sure he would have just laughed it off. That's just, him. Or he would have made fun of you also. Talking behind his back was questionable. I don't think the real Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj, who studied with Nikhil at Bishop Cotton's, would ever do that. I doubt it. That's one more giveaway. And another red flag. This girl, because Varsha, the original who's Nikhil Advani's actual Varsha Advani is known as K80 because she went to Fort Convent School with me. There's another one who used to love eating gems. Maybe she's connected with Cyrus Mistry. She's that version. Maybe not. There's another one, last, who used to love eating nutties. Every time she says, I have to pick up a packet of nutties from down, and she'll laugh. And she'll go down to the chemist and bring it up and eat it and say, you want? I say, no, I don't want. It's not my favorite chocolate. To understand this, frankly, is difficult. Did SL plant this girl who has Varsha's face? SL, has he shapeshifted for the 9 of SKF? 9 people shapeshifted, minimum 9 people who shapeshifted in and out of this SKF. Did they do something to the real Nikhil Advani? Nikhil Advani is Nikki, for sure, from childhood. Nixie Nikhil is after, I think, 2005, 2004, never before that. What I can do is I can check again with the pendulum if she's willing to discuss this. I don't know. They say that SL's nexus of shapeshifters, including some people who have AIDS and HIV, shapeshifting in and out of key homes, is 75 to 100 people. Make sure you know where you're getting your orders from and with which agenda. Don't throw names uselessly. Without a name, if you can just do a job that is, kind of good for everybody, that'll be better. And good for everybody within this India structure. Are you with me, darling? Sweetie pie? Why were you quiet earlier when I was asking you about the Congress? Congress is a culprit, darling. The old Congress party members are a culprit. Also? No, the original guys? Okay, I don't know how to understand it. Were any of them killed, replicated to make them culprits? So many with an original face and an original birth identity, you call them culprits, darling? Okay, now over here, if we understand SKF, you said SKF came into being after Salman Khan or parallel to Salman Khan leaving his physical body. The DNA related son of Salim Khan and Salma Khan. KAT knew Salman Khan, the original. Y'all were friends. He's a good man according to you. He's been a victim. Okay, I want to understand over here. Nat is somebody who stood in for you as JAYA.ADVANI at some point in time. She's one of the many shapeshifters. She's not a bad person. But is she a bad person? Do you call the girl who used to eat nutties a bad person? What about the girl who eats gems all the time? Is she a bad person? Both of them are bad people, according to you. Aarti is a bad person. Aarti Nanthur, your first cousin. Parpati Sadrangani's Nina Nanthur, her daughter. Arta, she's also a bad person. I'm also a bad person. Okay, now after so many people are a bad person, I, JAYA.ADVANI, am not a bad person. Jaya Kanayalal Advani. I'm Jaya Kanayalal Advani, sweetie pie. For legal reasons in this country, from infancy, how I've grown, Fort Convent School that I've gone to, HR that I've gone to, QUT that I've gone to, my tax filing returns, whatever it is. I'm Jaya Kanayalal Advani. I worked at Times of India a little bit. I worked at Portland, India. All that's in the ITR. I worked at JLW. All those tax returns were filed. So it is me who worked over there and my tax filing that was filed. Now what I'm trying to understand, Varsha, 3 days ago, I was not upset. I'm just wondering what it is with you. You are French blue bloodline, sweetheart. That day when I asked you in the night, you said you wanted me to fall. As in you want my reputation to fall, or you want something about me in society to fall. You say it's a past life issue. I said just now, you said I'm not a bad person. But you say you still want me to fall. You are French blue bloodline. So are you trying to tell me you said or did some things in society on purpose to make me fall? What is it? It was a deep stemmed insecurity within you. In retrospect, what do you think it is? Do you still want me to fall, darling, in today's day and age? Today is the 5th of June 2025. You exited out of the body, you say February 2018, is that right? So 18 to 19, 19 to 20, 20 to 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, it is 7 years, sweetheart. Since you've been in the spirit realm, you have a more holistic picture of the situation. Are you in the physical body today on earth? Are you available? If I go hunting for you, will I find you in a physical body for you being you by birth? What I'm trying to understand is, you've been in the afterlife for 7 years. You still want Jaya Advani to fall, the holder of this pendulum to fall? Okay. Now the point is, I'm trying to understand SL. The girl who is eating nutties and gems, different from the KAT and the Kit Kat that both of us used to have on our way to Fort Convent School during the 80s. So you are the original. After that, there is somebody who eats a lot of gems, another one who has to eat nutties. That is after, I think, 2004 or 5. They are part of the nexus of SL's shapeshifters. They have done something to Nikhil Advani. What is it? They have messed with his mind in some way. They have plugged him the way they plugged Cyrus Mistry in some way. Is that what you're trying to say? So Nikhil Advani is alive and he's fully functional. But his decision making is different from what he would normally take, is what you're saying? Where Cyrus Mistry is in deep sleep. And he is not mobile. Yet his mind is overworked to get solutions for the criminal network and for people who can't really strategize on their own. So they misuse his brains to strategize and help the criminal cartel network. SL is involved in this. SL is involved in plugging Nikhil Advani's brains. Did he use nutties to do it? Nutties being Varsha Advani, replica, shapeshifter. Did he use her to do this to Nikhil Advani, called Nikki? The debt you talk is debt of what? Tell me one thing. What is the role of SL and SKF? Are you saying SL is connected with hiring people for shapeshifting at SKF? It is SL's network that shapeshifts in and out as Salman Khan today and connected with Salman Khan films. Is that what you're trying to say? Are they the NIA? Are all of them NIA? Legal NIA doing the shapeshifting? Are they legal NIA? Did this guy just take the name of NIA just now from the fan into my ears? Talking about something to do with the NIA, so I had to ask about the NIA. Okay, so what I'm trying to understand is, the debt is whose, sweetheart? The debt is SL's debt, karmic debt. The justification was used that somebody owes society something. That is SL's justification, along with his group of shapeshifters like Nutties, to do what they did to people like Nikhil Advani and others like them. Do they consider that they are making them pay of some debt of some ancestor? Sins of the father have to be paid by the children, is what they had put on the internet. Is what they had put on the internet 2000 and I think 15, 16, 17. I was still in Sumantas in those days, and they used to keep showing Amitabh Bachchan's face, babies' faces with shoes. And when they show those shoes on the internet popping up all the time, what they do is they play drilling sounds. They smell up the entire place really badly. That's the vapor. They put sulfur or sodium, don't know what it is, I think sulfur, which makes you feel very sick for 3 days. They keep messing up things because what they do is, technologically they are able to connect to some things in your wall paint and the whole place becomes dirty. They send bad smells through vapor from the window if you leave it open. In it is very high levels of sulfur which make us very sick. Now that is something got to do with your chamber issue, but I am not a public personality. Your chamber issue is not my issue. Your thievery issue is not my issue. That you go dumping this kind of crap on people like us and then dare to call it nation building. Showing people like Mr. Amitabh Bachchan in the Oro time. Oro got over, that movie got over when? Then playing on his name, his identity, after you have brought him, CRISPR, to my home. A very gentle old man. An educated man with my father's face. But he stands out as a more educated man. What you did with him then? Doing cheap acts, showing shoes, and then grilling, giving me bad words, trying to incite emotions, smelling a place up, bringing sulfur in, messing everything, doesn't make you it. It just makes you a zillion times worse as an Atma than you first were born as. Frankly telling you, there's nothing but bullshit connected with you people. Very high levels of crap. And if you want everything to equate to Scotland's crumbling structures, which even Loch Ness doesn't want to see, and nobody who has already contributed to building things who you very conveniently got rid of, none of them will help you in the future. पूरा दुनिया जो है वो डूब जाएगा. अगर तुमको वो चाहिए तो करो. इसके जो आउटकम्स जो होता है पुअर कर्मा का, क्रम्पलिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स, जाओ और देखो क्या अवेलेबल है. बहुत सारा है. और जहाँ पे लोग बहुत काम करके, मेहनत करके, डेस्टिनी ऑल्सो सपोर्ट्स देम, दे आर बिल्डिंग सिटीज इन देयर ओन स्मॉल वे, तो उसको मार के साइड करके उसका पैसा कब्जा के क्या कर रहा है? ये जस्ट एक्सपैंडिंग द क्रिमिनल नेटवर्क. इट्स बैड फॉर एवरी इकोनॉमी. Okay, so if we see over here, Nutty. So she used to eat nutties all the time. And maybe she goes to क्या है? KF Kingfisher है. But the other one is what? Night Frank? KF is what? Night Frank, Kingfisher. दूसरा है KFC, not KF. So this girl is, these two have done something connected with real estate. वो हमको पहले ही पता है. इसने बहुत कांडी किया है. So Kingfisher was a big problem. Kingfisher was a big problem. Kingfisher was a big problem. Knight Frank has got to do with real estate and real estate research. They're the best in research. In fact, there was a man called Kulinder who was my supervisor when I was doing for that 1 month. It's not that I don't like desk jobs. DHFL. My problem is I can't travel. I'm used to going to offices which are within 10 minutes of my home. Also, I don't like the 9 to 5. That's my problem. So over there, Kulindra was my supervisor for property research. Then he said, I'm very surprised what you're able to do. That was training at JLW, Jones Lang Wooten, which became JLL, Jones Lang LaSalle. So he was actually ex-Knight Frank, right? So he's very good with when he's doing the investment analysis. So he had come from ex-Knight Frank, or he had good connections with Knight Frank. The other one is Kingfisher. Between Knight Frank and Kingfisher, I think I would lay my bet more on Kingfisher. This is not the original Nikhil Advani. This is not the original SRN. Natish and Nut. She has already established is not a good person. These are the guys screwing around with OCs, ECs. It is the network of shapeshifters who are doing that. Sometimes dressing as lawyers, sometimes dressing as some key person, sometimes making calls as key people, giving orders, changing things, spreading wrong rumors in society that even big builders don't know what to believe. Otherwise, this 94 lakhs demand draft from Kotak Bank and having 86,000 stamped on my face at the sub-registrar's office at Shivaji Nagar, close to Purvankara office. Purvankara is not small builder. They are from Pune, but they are very large. This is not a fucking Provident property, but Provident now is making better than the Purvankara property. Right? Provident is supposed to be it's supposed to be like a normal, less frills project. Purvankara is supposed to give you all kinds of amenities, and so they charge you a premium for it. You pay in your maintenance for 3 acres of extra land that you may visit, you may not visit. Is the additional amenities. It's a premium project. Buying into the premium project, changing a freaking 2 BHK apartment to the point that Yash, who is selling the property, is also from Bombay. He says he's got a firing from somebody who's sitting in the management of Purvankara. How many times changing it around? 3rd time that we bought it. Then sitting in that office for how many days? How many times we visited it? The day when we have gone and registered the property, did we spend at least 2 hours in Purvankara office from morning to afternoon to make sure that it was understood that now the demand drafts will be given. When is it that we will get the papers and the registration? Generally it's supposed to be the next day, because that's how decency is. They say you paid the money, then okay, the registration comes to you. Possession also, they have their days. But it didn't happen that way. It happened differently. Blatant. Just do the opposite of what is supposed to be done. Because we are stupid. Now the point is, against my face in the registration office, how is it 86,000 when we've given you demand drafts of so much? The stamp duty registration is okay. So don't you see foul plays there? What I am trying to tell you. How? Shape-shifting according to me. Rumor mongering according to me. But who's then running off with the properties? I am too very small. Mine is only 2 BHK. I don't have much on me. But then don't you think this only, if it is poked properly, shredded in pieces, you'll catch the culprit? Catch the culprit on my case, understand what all I'm connected to, without being connected to it, where all the mess must have come from, who must have done it, why you are not catching them? Sitting and giving the people who have done all the hard work a bad name. Then saying what? They will run from here. कौन भागेगा? तू तेरा घर बेच के ट्राई कर, पेटी पैक करके बोरी बिस्तर लेके भागो, देखो कितना इजी है अब्रॉड जाने के लिए. So my 2 BHK is a problem to wrap up and run. Industrialists will just wrap everything and run. But they're stupid. Because of their stupidity, they were able to double and triple their father's empire. Their father was a bank manager initially. क्या दिमाग है? This guy is gone. These people have gone to my cousin Trimona's home in Florida and done some candy there also. हमको लगता है इसने बहुत कुछ ऊपर नीचे किया है, according to my understanding. He has screwed my full family over, frankly telling you. And these are the outsiders, because that's not Nikki. ये निकी नहीं है, ये वर्षा जो कैट है उसके लिए शेप शिफ्ट किया है. एक जेम्स, दूसरी जो नटीज. SL is a shapeshifter for Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj, who's different from SL, and Nikhil Advani is different from Nixie Nikhil. The way she's able to identify it is based on choices of chocolate in her case. In their case, I don't know how to divide it. My cousin stays in Florida. That cousin of mine, her mother got married to Mr. Vital Malia. That cousin of mine, I'm told, is still alive. Her name is Trumona Hingorani. She became Viveka Malani, mother of Rahul Malani. Her mother got married to Mr. Vital Malia. अब उसको बोले she had the most traumatized life. Bye. She's supposed to be still holed up in Vichumbe and Kamote. Kat lost her life in 2018 February. Trumona is still alive in some place in and around that shithole. When she is the daughter of that who got married to Vital Malia, उसको कामोटे और विचुम्बे में होल अप करके किसका फ़ायदा होता है? फिर उसके जगह पे कौन शेप शिफ्ट कर रहे हैं? जब वो शेप शिफ्ट कर रहे हैं वो कितना साइफनिंग कर रहे हैं, कितना गलत कर्म कर रहे हैं, किसका चेहरा लेके, तो किसका बाप का राज है ऐसे करने के लिए. As simple as that, black and white. Playing fuck all sounds from my body doesn't quite do it. You're being stupid because I'm telling you. तुमने कुछ देखा नहीं है अभी तक. You just step into the afterlife once you leave out of this body. I'm not lying to you. I can stand in over there as the witness. I can also stand in over there helping the lit realm of the judges. Above it is Shirdi Sai Baba. Shani is forever a witness because of Shirdi Sai Baba working real time ever since, I have a feeling, 2010 itself. It could have been triggered in 2003. Chance meeting with some key Shankaracharyas, they do their own thing, we don't know. They call me brave. I say I don't know, I'm only going to the call center. So they know everything, we don't know anything. उनको हर चीज़ पता है. But ever since this nonsense has started, because you have been grabbing from people who've done honest, hard work to build some things, even if they've been dishonest. It is not for you to be a republic, what is it called? Banana Republic, or that also we're getting bloodlines from a different country. वो तुम्हारा हक का है ही नहीं. तुमको, you got land problems with your royalty. How does that convert into greed that you start grabbing from other countries who have nothing to give and take with you? So shameless that an atheist is shape-shifting for Narendra Damodar Das Modi, and he has fooled the Indian public reciting some lines on righteousness, unrighteousness, quoting the Bhagavad Gita, which is a holy book, but I don't want it to become the key topic. Because bad karma is bad karma. You misuse something, you fool anybody, that you only have to make good in the future. So no point getting into it. But I'm saying to understand you as a personality type, just to dissect you and profile you. That's all. So this can be either they created debt and dumped it on other people, messed around, but then this can also be karmic debts going forward for what they did with this. This is a miscreant, it's been established. That's a miscreant, it's been established. This has been a miscreant, it has been established. Who is this? This is standing in for, this person has stood in for the Sanjeev Rajan Lekhraj, but has stood in for NLRL, a network of shapeshifters. For SP Cyrus Mistry also he has shapeshifted. Yes, shamelessly. यही होगा जो लॉकर को तोड़े. यहीं से ये नेटवर्क ऑफ शेप शिफ्टर से ही हमारा लॉकर फोर्सफुली तोड़ के माई मदर्स green paper divorce with my father. They stole that. They stole Suman property papers, the originals which had nicely been kept together. They stole Jaswal property papers and the entire history of it. Straight. My clothes are hanging over there in my bedroom in for Jaswal. Shamelessly. They have just taken it away. And they've done so in 2017 end or 18. After which Mr. JAYA.ADVANI passes away on the 3rd of May 2018. But what is not known is KAT has been murdered sometime in February 2018. Holed up in a place in Kamote, Vichumbe for 9 years. So maybe once he grabbed what he wanted to do, create all the problems, he declared himself dead. How do we know what it was? You want to put it on the NIA? Because you keep taking the NIA name. NIA's job is not actually to do these things. If you say sending sulfur into people's homes to make them sick, I don't think that's their job. They're empowered enough. If they are normal Indians in a job, they can do their job very well with full authority. Since you're going on about the NIA, though I'm interested in knowing about Nixie Nickel, there is no NIA over here. There's the ED who's over here, which is for financial discrepancies. Nuke. So ED, Nuke, Nifty, SL balance sheet, since it's all financial related. It can also be bullshit actually if it is connected with this. I don't know, something to do with tiffins. What the fuck was this guy doing? don't know how to understand this, but I don't know, there are many permutations and combinations here. I'm not a financial person, so I don't know. But something to do with the United Kingdom or to do with Uttarakhand, State Bank of India, some den, some tiffin, some digital effort and some selling. Kul is a locality. Another term for virasat. I'm very poor in finance matters, so I don't know, and I'm not good in. I don't keep up with the news. All I know is SBI got into trouble, ICICI got into trouble. That's it. And Axis Bank got into trouble. So anyway, you can understand what it is. I don't know. Maybe it is some English tiff with the SBI that the ED saw. Don't know. Maybe it's got to do with somebody called Lucky, L-U-K. लकी ये टोनी फर्नांडिस शायद, नॉट श्योर. लकी maybe something to do with the Fed also and the ED. They're all in the same job, I think. Right? They're all doing the same work. But she wants to wonder, why are we going in this? Because during this timeline, perhaps this kind of stuff also was happening side by side. She wants to talk about what happened connected with the where they were pulled off the grid during those two shootings. One character named Meera for Dilwale and the other one who is Anushka Sharma herself in EU, Europe. Anyway, यहाँ पे जो है बस्टिंग भी हुआ है. So this हमको लगता है ना, that time remember I told you about SRK who'd gone to Davos and I said हमको लगता है ना ऐसे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किलर, प्रोफेशनल किलर जो है ऐसे कुछ लग रहा है. Also in the others there was that in the snow wants the girl to be saved, so she's doing that. That is in escape for those shoes नहीं है, चप्पल है, तो दिखाता है वो कितना मैनली है उसको बचाने के लिए. She's skiing. So these two things happened. Color of the shirt also was the kind, not, they were different colors. एक था Davos, एक था वो जो ad है. वो ad जो निकला था 2012-13 कहीं वहाँ पे था. The Davos thing happened later on, a few years later on. Setting was the same. I have a feeling this has got something to do with that only. Okay, Fed and ED दोनों भी है. इल हमको लगता है इल ही है, लायर इल भी है. Anyway, something was already busted. Now, was the right person busted, or was someone pulled off the grid? Somebody sent in that person's place to do a setting, and then there was a busting to disrepute and then get into a different network altogether. That's how they function. The start was Davos. वहाँ पहाड़ी के अंदर यहाँ पे you know how they've been getting rid of things, तो वहाँ पे भी they must be having their setting. If people have disappeared when they are part of a crew in Europe, तो कुछ भी possible है. Somebody lied over there. Something connected with the FD. Something connected with SKF. So it is SKF. Once this was set up, वो जो चप्पल के जो ad था in the snow, 2012. There's one on the beach. Then there's one in the snow. It was like a series of ads. I can't even remember what was the company name. तो ये एक liar है. I need to ask whether this chap has shapeshifted for SL ever. Is he SL or is he part of the network which was shapeshifting for SRL? He cannot be Cyrus Mistry because Cyrus Mistry, it is being said, was pulled off in 2006. He's been in a deep sleep since then. It is SL who has a group of people, 75 to 100, who have been shapeshifting in and out of all key homes. They rotate themselves in and out of all the homes they shapeshift, boys and girls. They're forever on rotation. It's like a roster. Roster, if you have worked in retail chains of garments and any retail chain, वहाँ पे roster होता है. Rostering होता है जब तो होटल में काम करता है. Rostering होता है सिक्योरिटी के अंदर. Rostering होता है कॉल सेंटर के अंदर. Rostering होता है एयरलाइंस के अंदर. Rostering happens where? Hospitals. Banking has rostering or no rostering. Corporates have rostering or no rostering. Advertising agencies have rostering or no rostering. So these guys primarily have been attached to the hotel industry, call centers, airline industry maybe, the retail store chains. If malls have it, then malls also. Wherever rostering is. So this bunch of 75 to 100 who roster themselves in and out of everyone's king. Time share basis. SL runs it. You don't name it to the NIA. It's always good to keep black, white, grey जो होवे NIA भी उसको भी बर्बाद बदनाम करे. मुन्नी को बदनाम करो कोई कावर्ड, फिर तो उसका स्टाइल तो है हर चीज़ जहाँ जहाँ वो फिंगर नील से भी टच करे उसको वायरस लगा के बदनाम ही कर देगा. इट्स इनहेरेंट एट एन एटॉमिक लेवल. इट्स टेरेबल एक्चुअली, नथिंग टू बी प्राउड अबाउट. हाँ, कुछ बदनाम कुछ चीज़ है उसको तो वापस फीट पे लगा के उसको प्रॉस्परस बनाओ. लाइक अ बैंक मैनेजर इज एबल टू स्टार्ट अ यूनाइटेड ब्रूरीज. He's able to compete on a global level, where in that industry primarily it's a global player. He's able to become better than that. कुछ ऐसे करके दिखाओ ना. चीज़ों को तोड़ना तो ऐसे होता है, लेकिन उसको बनाना that also in a proper manner. ओ करके तो दिखा. You don't have it in you. You're full of crap. You're a pain. Such bad energy. The less said, the better. And when people are doing for their children, what haq you have to go over there other than what? Sins of the father for giving you a fucking job. Have to be paid by the children. तू एंट्री मार के, लॉकर्स तोड़ के, फेस चेंज करके, चोरी करके वैसे इकोनॉमी बिल्ड करेगा. Who are you kidding? Come on. तू जो चीज से जुड़ा है तू उसको बदनाम करके ही छोड़ेगा, क्योंकि तू एक बदनाम आत्मा है इन द ब्रह्मांड. That's why you got a good speciality. Stinking bloody atma. Are you with me? Suddenly I got a question to ask you. In this SKF, you say there is more than one person shape-shifting for Salman Khan. Salman Khan, out of the sperm and the egg of Salma Khan and Mr. Salim Khan, that man, Mr. Salman Khan, he is in his human form today, darling? Is he physically in his physical form today? I, JAYA.ADVANI, Jaya Kanyalal Advani, not age. Jaya Kanyalal Advani, for legal purposes, I am left my human form today. Human form as of what you are understanding about being in the human form or then not being in the human form. I have left it and gone. I still am in a physical form, darling. So how I am in a physical form, Salman Khan is in a physical form on earth today, darling. The one who was created by the egg and the sperm of Salman Khan, of Salim Khan and Salma Khan. Is he in his human form the way I am? Of course, he is going to have different structure on him. I am going to have different structure on me. But for a man, is he in his human physical form? He doesn't have to be ditto me. He has to be in a form where you can, he has got his senses, he's got his organs, he's got everything, and he's in a 3D form. So is he in a 3D form here on earth? Has he moved to the afterlife? Was he forced to move to the afterlife? You say 2009 he was murdered? Now, in the SKF that was created on the back of the murder of Mr. Salman Khan, what I am trying to understand is, darling, other than SL, you say SL shapeshifted in the marriage with Sanjeev Raj and Lekhraj. Basically, I got married to a dead man. Is that true? Right? So what I am saying is, in that case, other than SL, shape-shifting in that marriage, is there anybody who shape-shifted who's also connected with SKF? Basically, somebody who habitually steals, lies, cheats, and has no respect even for the institution of marriage, supports the anti-god. Nick, Nickel, Nixie, no, not Nickel Advani. Nick, Nixie, Nickel, one of them. He has shapeshifted in the marriage, but he's also connected with SKF, with a bunch of heisters who have, basically on the murder of Mr. Salman Khan, this bunch of miscreants have shapeshifted for SKF. 9 of them bedded one nutties or something of that sort. That means they are highly unethical and immoralistic, including when it comes to shapeshifting in my own marriage, 2002. That's their business of heist. You see these fucks getting caught soon. Narcos का बाप इन लोगों पे करना है. I don't know how you're going to get them to talk. You know what they do? They put the ego of other people. I don't know whether they hypnotize themselves with other information. How do they get away with it? I can't understand. Please tell me one thing, darling. ये जो SKF में शेप शिफ्ट जो किया है निक निक्सी निकल, वो निखिल अडवाणी हमारा एक्चुअल कजिन फ्रॉम 1970s कोई भी है? Mr. Ramesh Advani and Chitru Advani's son are actual cousin from the 1970s. Did he himself do any shape shifting? Did he and SRL study in Bishop Cotton's our actual cousin called Nikhil Advani? He's our brother. There are shapeshifters for our cousin brother. They're the ones who messed it all up. Jaitley is involved directly, indirectly in this entire thing. It's a Middle Eastern agenda, poverty-ridden agenda, revenge for poverty agenda, shaking hands poverty people from Middle East and probably Indians also, God only knows who, but something of that sort. Pakistan is involved in any way. Kazakhstan is involved in any way. China is involved in any way. China's billionaires have really disappeared. Again, it is asset grabbing that is the reason for it. Let me ask one more thing. हमको लगता है एक और चीज़ बोलते हैं. Other than Nick, Nixie, Nickel, shape-shifting in the marriage to a dead SRL, you say Cyrus Mistry also shape-shifted over there. Did the original Cyrus Mistry, Shapurji Palunji's son, shapeshift over there? Or was it a shapeshifter for Cyrus Mistry who shapeshifted? Or both? Other than these two identities that we've already identified, was there anybody else connected with SKF who shapeshifted? We're saying anybody who has shapeshifted in the SKF other than Cyrus Mistry overlap SL, SL overlap Cyrus Mistry, Nick, Nixie, Nickel, all three of them shapeshifted in the marriage or whatever poor excuse of the marriage. Did all three of them do that? One of the three did so. Two of the three did so. Okay, keeping Cyrus Mystery, SL, Nick Nixie Nickel, whoever the people are, other than these, but connected with somebody overlapping who shapeshifted in the marriage and shapeshifted in SKF in later years. Are there any more people involved? So can we zero down on identity, the overlap in SKF? Was it Cyrus Mystery himself? Just to recheck. Cyrus Mystery 2006 mid was pulled out in a deep state, put into deep unconscious state. You say it is Qatar, Ras Lafa outside the industrial estate at the Research Aquatic Center somewhere in and around there near the mangroves and Purple Island. Power is grabbed by SL, misused grossly by him, and Nick Nixie Nickel, but not Nikhil Advani. So the team is SL and Nick Nixie Nickel, 2 out of the 3, you say. 3 boys in total. They have shapeshifted for SKF. This is the same core group that does the Heist. Nutties is their partner in crime. Gems is their partner in crime. Gems and Nutties has shapeshifted for Varsha Advani. But original Varsha Advani is K80, file name Cat. K80 was CRISPR'd to be Mrs. Anita Merchant sometime in 2005 after Sharanya was born. K80 lost her life in 2018 February at Kamote Vichumbe, you say? But the game of being K80 by Nutties and Gem, having the face of Varsha Advani, who are shapeshifters for the real Varsha Advani who went to school with me at Fort Convent, file name Cat. That was done by Nutties and Gem. And other than Nutties and Gem, were there others who did shapeshifting for Varsha Advani, my sister? One of them is gone to Rio. If not Rio, South Africa, what? South America somewhere. Anyone in America hiding out in America who shapeshifted for either of the 2 of us? Where you get stuck with all these kind of shitty people, I don't understand. दिमाग खा लिया है, पता नहीं है क्या गार्बेज के साथ ये लोग हाथ मिलाते हैं. Fed up. I don't know what this is. Lien है कि क्या है, or is it a lie English? Not sure. Okay. Can read it whichever way, or it can be a den also. There may be a day English also. Is there a tubby over here or a stubby or a stubble? स्टबल SKF इंग्लिश ईद इन। तो भैया राजन टेलर का तो वो नाम नहीं दिख रहा है, लेकिन उसका भाई केतन टेलर यहाँ पे है, कपिल टेलर भी है। एनी ऑफ देम शेप शिफ्टिंग, एनी ऑफ द टेलर्स डूइंग वर्क हियर? Ketan is relatively taller. I don't think he is short. I think he is taller than his brother. Kapil don't know. KT English Eid stubble. Salman Khan अब लेटेस्ट मूवी के अंदर he has a stubble or a beard. Stubble? I don't know. This latest movie I saw it first day first show. He wants to be Rajkot's Raja. वहाँ पे भी राज करना है. There, you know what the best part about that movie is? He takes my little baby Varsha's name. इंदिरा का नाम भी लेता है. Saif movie says you used to be king but you're no more. Oh, jewel thief. We checked about Saif Ali Khan Pataudi. Pataudi's actual royal Nawabi son. They say he's no more in the body. I mistook that he is in Siberia. Exchanged. बोलते हैं he's not in the body only. So I don't know. Grabbing, getting off the grid, sending duplicates in is the name of the heist and the business. It's a difficult one to crack, but it has to be. There's open war. अब इसने इमेज बिल्डिंग एक्सरसाइज सडनली 2008-9 के बाद कैसे किया है? यू गेट स्केयर्ड टू क्वेश्चन हिम. You think a zillion times before you question him. Always remember the press is nice. We have what? Advertorials. जहाँ पे पैसा देके एड के अंदर इंफॉर्मेशन छुपाते हैं खुद को ग्लोरीफाई करने के लिए. वो 95 में होता था, 94 के अंदर. Krishna and Kans were born in the same home. But Krishna is Krishna, Kans is Kans. What is good, what is bad, what is criminal, what is not. That is actually every lawmaker, lawkeeper's Bible and skill of the highest order to decipher between the two and not to let anything that is criminal get away. That's the religion. And if you don't want to follow a religion, then that's the dharma. Then don't touch the job. वो एनिमल मूवी भी इट्स नॉट एन इंडियन कॉन्सेप्ट एंड आई एम प्रीटी श्योर ऋषि कपूर एंड द रियल रणबीर कपूर आई डोंट थिंक दे वुड डू दैट मूवी. The depiction of the woman's role, that movie, it's done well, but you just look at it very closely and say where could this come from? It's not an Indian concept. It is neither from, Indian is not a question that you're a Hindu. No. Indian is a concept that you are Indian, you have spent some generations here, you have grown up from, with some things inculcated into you from the Indian culture, which is so rich. And there are so many choices for learning. No, they don't insist you have to do this, you have to do that. ये हिंदुत्व गेम इसने किया है to disrupt things. On the back of it, he disrupted the Muslim community. So you must understand word game, word play, and not fall a victim to it. Otherwise, India has so much diversity with the Hindus, Muslims, everything very peacefully, contently coexisting with each other. Right? Live and let live. At least in all the key cities, otherwise business will not happen. Everything will come to a crunching halt. So everyone gets along with everybody, everybody tolerates everybody, and everybody helps each other move their business, salary, something or the other. Work is always available if you want to take it. For that, there has to be peaceful coexistence. So the concept of Indian is not that you're a Muslim, you're a Hindu, you're a Catholic, you're a Christian. The only thing that topples the apple cart anywhere is the anti-God. The can't even say atheist. You can be an atheist as long as you don't give it wrong activity. What I'm seeing from the longest time is, in the name of righteousness, the biggest atrocities being done by the miscreants. You are not supposed to run a banana republic. That also you're not from here. You got another chip on your shoulder. It has got to do with your own ancestry. You're not supposed to get together and spew it on the normal public. It is not your place. तू तेरे कर्म को सीधा रख ताकि भगवान खुद आके तुमको ऐसे जन्म देवे कि तुमको ऐसे. Don't even want to call it ghatiya and all. Don't want to say anything. If you don't like it over here and you think you're filled with might over here, and in this point of time grabbing things and playing it the way you have, making yourself forcefully mighty, so how you are going to survive once you go into the afterlife, because everything is black and white over there. What you are going to like as temporary grabbing, and then very long term outcomes which you're not going to like. How are you going to deal with it? Eshel has got 11 kalpas in Nark and Patal. Patal is the ceiling. उससे ज़्यादा है ही नहीं. कैंची का आवाज़ हमारे लेफ्ट एल्बो से निकाल के कुछ नहीं है, या हमारे लेफ्ट साइड ऑफ माई ग्लासेस से वो आवाज़ करके कुछ नहीं है, और फिर तू बेवकूफ़ बकवास करती है. And you're sitting and putting it up to the dark web. Your bullshit overwriting what truth I'm talking. Rewriting my living in this house. अगर तू एक desperado नहीं है तो क्या है? How you are contributing to the well-being of any economy? Who will want to invest when, if you're giving 94 lakhs, OCEC, whatever it is, you're sitting and putting on my face 86,000. Why we should give you the money? Better to stay on the roads, put up a tent. What you are trying to prove? I am not SK Ved. I don't have time for your lousy, uneducated nonsense. कल हमको कुछ भी होवे जो हमारे रीडिंग्स बोल रहे हैं ना, वही परपिट्रेटर्स होंगे. If you all don't catch the perpetrators, that's it. You'll have it. I will form the loka, to it's over. I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. You haven't seen strict yet. And I'm not alone. There's 60% of the lit realms. You don't fit into it just by way of the karma done by you, actions taken by you. Just to do a clarity over here, are you with me? One of these guys connected with SKF has worked in the latest movie where he's taken Varsha's name in Dharavi slums, then taken Indra's name. Your chatti name was Indira, Hindu Devi, JAYA.ADVANI, file name Cat Baby. You're my sister. We both went to Fort Convent School just to get clarity. They have done so many shapeshifters तो बोलना पड़ता है कौन क्या है. आई एम फेड अप ऑफ दीज पीपल. Will you ever be an actress or try acting and modeling in a future lifetime? I told you, this girl, you can't talk to her. Okay, leave that. Let's move on. Tell me one thing. ये जो SKF है with a stubble baby, I want to know. I'm very upset actually right now. Your choice of mingling with the wrong kind of people has brought lots of problems to lots of people. I want you to accept that, which otherwise hopefully would have not been there. My question to you is about SKF, the stubble, E, the den, English. Any of the tailors like Rajan Taylor and his family involved? May not be Rajan Taylor, the doctor himself, but he's got plenty of cousins. He's got his own brother, he's got his own sister. So in his cousins, Neema name to came up, right? She is some chacha or a mami or something of that sort, their cousin sister, brought up in London only. Then he's got his own brother who's called Ketan Taylor, his real brother. Then he's got another brother who is called Kapil Taylor, who I don't know, who studied in Puttaparthi school. He has his sister, cousin sister called Preeti Taylor, right? So amongst these, any of them is the stubble guy. They are connected with the SKF setup. Would you call the Taylors victims? Taylors are victims. Any of the Taylors is a villain. Are you trying to tell me some cousins are victims and some cousins are villains? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Anyway, is it only one Taylor who is shape-shifting? No, the Taylors are the original Taylors you are talking about. Any Taylors have been murdered unceremoniously and replicated by anybody? They will have to do the unediting of the genes of everybody or do the forensics of their gene, because theirs is kind of a joint family, close to each other in different bungalows, 1-2 lanes in and around each other. Last I knew, 98, 99, in and around London. They've spread themselves in other parts of the world. More difficult to do the forensics. Anyway, that's what the problem is in them also. The guy who is shape-shifting for SKF, he's the original Taylor. The guy who is shape-shifting in and out of SKF, you call him a victim? The guy who is shape-shifting for SKF, you call him a villain? He's the original Taylor? Whether he's the cousin or he is the original Rajan Taylor? You say victim and villain? So he has been victimized in some ways and then he is given with villainous activity on another end as a protective measure. Did he realize what he was doing? He's friends with SL. What I want to understand is, if we understand the law, if the law had to judge him, would they have to classify him a culprit according to the law? What is it? It's financial related law. Does Mr. Raj, I don't know which one of the tailors is it. I will not take the name Taylor. I'll not take the first names. That's for the investigators to look into. Once it is understood that Salman Khan, Salim Khan, and Salma Khan, their real son is no more. But what I'm trying to understand is did the tailor who is shapeshifting at SKF, does he know that the real Salman Khan has left his physical body and that he was murdered? Is he aware of the news? Is he aware of this part of information? So is he a murderer himself? Would you call him a murderer himself? There's a big difference between being a murderer and being an accomplice to murder. A murderer is somebody who himself does the murder. An accomplice to murder is somebody who knows the information, keeps their mouth shut, and takes out their own profit out of it. So in the case of Taylor, would he be the actual murderer who picked up the instrument and murdered Salman Khan? Would you call him the actual murderer who picked up the instrument to murder a Salman Khan? Would you call him an accomplice to murder who had the information and just went his own way? And if he could benefit out of it, he did so. So would you call him an accomplice to murder? Would you call every shapeshifter an accomplice to murder wherever this kind of activity has happened? An accomplice to murder, an accomplice to thievery, an accomplice to lying, an accomplice to harassing the original family members left behind, an accomplice to intimidating people on purpose, accomplice to bio-war in any way, an accomplice to actually interrupting people's jobs which they do happily and honestly till they are thrown money in their face if they do the wrong thing, making them so-called change agents and a French Revolution the Indian style on Indian land. Accomplice to disruption of normal working Indian society. He has been spreading his euros around to the INRs. 2 euros would be about $200 as kharchi for doing the wrong thing. Does he do that? डेन डाइन के डेन 9 ये बताओ. आई एम नॉट योर वेड, यूर टू शॉर्ट. पहले ही तो बोला है स्पेनिश मैन मेडिटेरेनियन जो है, आई फाइंड दैट अट्रैक्टिव. I never knew what Spain is about. I never go to look at Spain. Only when the pendulum told me I have Spanish bloodline in me, I went to see Spain. But before that, on Netflix, I had seen some Spanish mini-series and I just couldn't stop it. I watched the whole thing end to end. And I said, hey, 1 minute. I don't know, this feels familiar. So I watch it end to end. Then afterwards, I'm told I have Spanish bloodline in me. So I go to see what Spain's all about. Then I see the men. I say, but these are the kind of men who look good and I'm attracted to them naturally. They're tall, well built, and proper. Like the men I'm used to having around me. तो उससे कम होता ही नहीं है. You understood? I've had 3 boyfriends. It didn't work out. One marriage also that didn't work out. That was the 4th relationship. Must be something somewhere. So I'm just saying, I got my own choice. And this is definitely not it. Alright? पहले जो कट ऑफ है ना 5-10 है. Anything above it, anything below it is little difficult. Okay? And not to insult anyone, there are other people with other taste and other liking. That is why I say the whole world is an ecosystem. Universe भी एक ecosystem है. Plenty of fish in the sea. We just need to find what is good for us. Insisting on things is stupidity. It talks of a level of an atmic desperation which is not good. It requires a lot of respiration. जो हमको easy breathing preferable है. Nice and easy. Okay, because that's how my parents brought me up. And I'm not Katrina, I'm not English, I'm brought up the Indian way. I'm not great looking either. But even then, in the ecosystem, surely, if some people get out of my way, I would find what I'm looking for. पहले हम fish out of water है. समझते नहीं है क्यों? I'm not saying. From another angle, from a spiritual angle, it's a good thing. It's a good journey. So I'm not complaining. But don't pass stupid comments all the time on the site. You have taken my sister's name in both places. One where it is Varsha you've shown in Dharavi slums. इंदिरा का नाम लिया भी है. वो तो मेरी वर्षा केटी है. Who told you to take her name? All the time sponging off stories from my home. तुमको permission कौन दिया है? अब वहाँ पे भी चोरी होता है. साउथ इंडिया के लास्ट 5 years 4 years they pick up things from my home. इतने बेशरम. तो what you want me to say? So stubble SKF find den or he find den, I don't know. Okay? Or find the EN. Or find end. Or find end. The unfortunate part over here, stubble तो है, but do you realize something over here? ST है, scheduled tribe. इसने कांडी यूनाइटेड ब्रूरीज में भी किया है. Come on, man. Without really stealing, because steal is STEAL. But this is STEEL. So United Breweries and Kingfisher KF is the same. Bun is my auntie. She used to always make a bun. इसने क्या किया है वहाँ पे I don't know. is really, I don't know what to do. I mean, it's very sad. She's teal. You must understand. Teal mana blue. This guy is from the ST background. One of them is from the ST background, category, OBC category, SC category. He has worked in the movie और राजकोट का राजा. वहाँ पे वर्षा का नाम भी लिया है, इंदिरा देवी, इंदु का नाम लिया है. What he has done privately is different from what he's put out on the screen. Now, latest movie. I also have not been kept alive just by chance. They have a blueprint, they have a plan. You can do whatever the fuck you want. तू कैसे आगे निकलेगा 420 कर्म करके, वो शिरडी साई बाबा कैसे अलाउ करता है शनि के साथ, वो हमको देखना है. And even if you get away with it over here, I want to see what fun is going to happen once you cross over. I hope you'll be able to stand in front of all of us and look us in the eye. तुमने अभी तक कुछ नहीं देखा है, यहाँ पे तुमको बस टॉलरेट किया है. तो कुछ भी बकवास करे, we say let it be. जब दिखाना है दिखाते हैं सही जगह से. Say full proof. Hack them once and for all and properly. Earning 11 kalpas in that shithole called Patal and Nark, which is how many? 11 kalpas कितना होता है? 44 yugas. You know 44 yugas? Before you are allowed to actually move to get a form. So you will just be alive in the afterlife in your earned realm, whatever it be. You know what an achievement that is? So over here we have teal snub, SKF find E. We have teal buns, SKF find E. Teal sen UB, SKF find. Teal sun. This is interesting. Sun is I-Occultist. He's number 28. He is cousin brother of my sister baby Varsha. Did this guy get involved with the sun in any way? It is possible. Anything is possible. But that would be because they want to take something from him. Or did he mess around with my own sister? Ben is sister. Sun over here would be number 28, I-Occultist. Teal is blue blood. How to understand bed? You have to understand it yourself. I don't know. He is the nephew of, Sun is the nephew connected to United Breweries. and cousin brother of Teal. We're not blue blood, but we were brought up by this family only. Whether United Breweries, whether it is Nikhil Advani, the cousin, whether it is JAYA.ADVANI, cat who has gone to Fort Convent with me. I was born 2.5 years before Varsha was born. Varsha is the extra entry, late entry, 2.5 years after. Nikhil Advani is the late entry, one year after. I was always from 73 already at Fort Jaswal, known as JAYA.ADVANI, daughter of Kanayalal Hakumatrai Advani. If you messed around with things connected with me, so someone tore my birth certificate and then rejoined it because they had a filthy political game in their mind. रियर्डो क्या किया है? हमारी रिपोर्ट कार्ड्स हमारा फोर्ट कॉन्वेंट का कहाँ है? पिंक कलर और मिंट ग्रीन कलर. व्हाट यू डिड विद ऑल ऑफ इट? हमारे फेस को तुमने वाइट वाइट क्यों लगाया है और हाथ को काला छोड़ दिया है? वेरी गुड. Anyway, now I have to go for a break. I have to eat something enough for today. I'm taking a break. I could come back later. This is heavy stuff. This was supposed to be Anushka Sharma's read of How She's Gone Underground, but that also led to this kind of stuff. Okay? I'm just guessing everything is important. It is talking of great grand least. It is pointing out who the perpetrators are. तो इनका जुर्रत इतना बढ़ चुका है, रॉयल्टी को फॉल करे मिडिल ईस्ट, फिर बने उनके जो इतना जो खजाना है उसको यूज़ करे, ऑपरेशन ग्राउंड कहीं और करे, इंडिया, गुड ग्रेट अम्ब्रेला. राम टेम्पल ऐसे बनाए, हनुमान तो गायब, जटायु को लगाए. वहाँ पे पैलेस दूसरे रेन के अंदर जो है लीकेज ऑलरेडी शुरू हुआ है. एरल जा रहे हैं वहाँ पे नमस्कार करने के लिए उसके शादीशुदा पार्टनर के साथ जो उसकी स्टेप डॉटर है सेकंड मैरिज की, राम को सलाम करने के लिए. यू मस्ट रीड बिटवीन द लाइन्स. इफ यू डोंट रीड बिटवीन द लाइन्स एंड दिस कंटिन्यूज, इट विल बी टू लेट. Then hope you got good karma that you don't need to come back and you earned an okay local. Relax. Let whatever has to play out, let it play out its own way. So let's take permission and say, can I come out of this read? You hear? United Breweries is somewhere where you naughty girl have shapeshifted KAT at some point in time. Jetli told you to do so. SKF entry and people in the SKF team Jetli knew about. Anybody else in the BJP RSS was aware of it? Is it legal? Is it with the viewpoint of good for India? When this thing kind of happens, is it good for India that these kind of activities happen? Teal means blue-blooded, darling. Son is Nikhil Advani in some way. He's your first cousin. For all practical purposes from the 70s. He's my first cousin. Born 1 year after me. You're born 2.5 years after me, or 2 years, yeah, a little more than 2 years after me. You ever told me you were shape shifting at United Breweries? Did you ever share your secret of being KAT with me? That also for the film industry? Did you tell me I try to keep you at a back foot, and if you had to listen to anything I tell you, you would be an absolute non-starter? And then I'm like, Sarla auntie. Did you tell me I'm not fit for life? Let me ask you very seriously, would you still want to do modeling and acting in the future in another lifetime, baby? You still want to do, in spite of all of this crap? You still like that industry? Okay, that's your choice. You're okay if I close this reading today? You still think I'm like Sarala auntie? You still think I'm like Sarala auntie? Okay, so I will close this reading for now, and I could see you in the evening but off camera. Okay, you just relax and enjoy. So we're closing this reading. It is the 5th of June 2025. It is a Thursday. It's 12:20, around 12:17. We're shutting the reading off. Okay, we'll upload it a little later.